What's the weather like in your hometown?
The weather in my hometown is generally temperate, with distinct seasons. We experience warm summers, often reaching highs of around 25 degrees Celsius, while winters are cool and damp, with temperatures occasionally dipping just below freezing. Spring and autumn are transitional periods, characterized by milder temperatures and changing foliage. Rainfall is fairly consistent throughout the year, although we tend to have slightly wetter winters. Overall, the climate is quite moderate, making it pleasant for outdoor activities for much of the year, although it can sometimes be a little unpredictable.
What kind of weather do you like the most?
Of all the weather conditions, I find spring to be the most appealing. It's a time of renewal and rebirth in nature, and this is reflected in the weather. The temperatures are mild and pleasant, not too hot and not too cold, making it comfortable to spend time outdoors. The days become longer, and there's a sense of freshness in the air. I particularly enjoy seeing the first flowers blooming and the trees regaining their leaves. It's a welcome change after the often dreary winter months. Overall, the moderate temperatures and revitalizing atmosphere of spring make it my favorite type of weather.
What do you usually do in cold weather?
When the weather turns cold, I tend to spend more time indoors, engaging in activities that provide warmth and comfort. I often enjoy curling up on the sofa with a good book or watching a film. Hot beverages, such as tea or hot chocolate, become a staple during these colder months. I also like to cook warm and hearty meals, like soups and stews, which help to combat the chill. Occasionally, if the cold isn't too severe, I might venture out for a brisk walk, bundled up in warm layers, to enjoy the crisp air. Overall, I prioritize staying warm and cozy when the weather is cold.
Do you prefer hot or cold weather? Why?
I definitely prefer cooler weather. While I appreciate the sunshine of warmer months, I find extreme heat quite uncomfortable and draining. I struggle to sleep well in hot temperatures and find it difficult to concentrate. In contrast, I find cooler weather invigorating and refreshing. I enjoy being able to layer clothing and appreciate the crispness in the air. I also find that cooler temperatures allow me to be more active outdoors without feeling overheated. Therefore, for reasons of comfort and personal preference regarding activity levels, I much prefer cooler conditions to hot weather.
Do you often check the weather forecast?
I do check the weather forecast fairly regularly, although not obsessively. I find it useful to have a general idea of what to expect, especially if I have plans that involve outdoor activities. For instance, if I'm planning a hike or a picnic, I'll definitely check the forecast to make sure I'm prepared for any potential rain or extreme temperatures. I also check it before traveling, to ensure I pack appropriate clothing. While I don't check it daily unless there's a specific reason, I find consulting the forecast a helpful way to plan my activities and be prepared for different weather conditions. One memorable occasion when the weather prevented me from carrying out my plans happened about a year ago. It was during the summer holidays when I had meticulously planned a weekend getaway with my friends to the countryside. Our goal was to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and immerse ourselves in nature, enjoying activities such as hiking, camping, and stargazing. We had been looking forward to this trip for weeks, and every detail had been carefully arranged, from the food and camping gear to the route we would take. We were hoping for typical summer weather, warm, sunny days and clear skies, which would be ideal for outdoor activities. The weather forecast leading up to our departure day was quite promising, showing nothing but sunshine and mild temperatures. We felt confident that our weekend would be filled with fun and adventure, without any interruptions from adverse weather conditions. However, on the day we were set to leave, the weather took an unexpected turn for the worse. Dark clouds began to gather, and the sky became ominously overcast. A heavy downpour soon followed, accompanied by strong winds and occasional thunderclaps. It was a classic case of the weather being unpredictable, despite the optimistic forecast we had relied on. Initially, we tried to wait it out, hoping that the storm would pass quickly, but as the hours went by, it became evident that the rain was not going to stop anytime soon. This unexpected development forced us to reconsider our plans. Camping in such conditions would not only be uncomfortable but potentially dangerous, given the risks associated with strong winds and potential flooding in certain areas. After a brief discussion, we unanimously decided to cancel the trip and stay indoors instead. It was a difficult decision because we had all been looking forward to this getaway as a much-needed break from our routine lives. The change of plans left me feeling quite disappointed and frustrated. I had been eagerly anticipating the chance to unwind in nature, and the sudden shift in weather felt like a cruel twist of fate. All the preparations and excitement seemed to go to waste, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of loss for the experience we had envisioned. Moreover, I was concerned about how we would salvage the weekend, considering we had all cleared our schedule specifically for this trip. Despite the initial disappointment, we decided to make the most of the situation. We gathered at one of our friends' houses and turned the weekend into a cozy indoor retreat. We cooked meals together, played board games, watched movies, and spent hours talking and laughing. While it wasn't the adventure we had planned, it turned out to be a memorable experience in its own right, filled with warmth and camaraderie.
How does the weather affect people's moods and behavior?
Well, I think everyone knows that the weather can really change how you feel and what you do. Like, on a sunny day, most people are happier, right? They want to go out, have fun, maybe have a picnic or something. It just puts you in a good mood. But when it's pouring rain and gloomy, you just want to stay inside, maybe watch TV, and it can make you feel a bit down. And it's not just about being happy or sad. If it's super hot, people get tired and grumpy easier. They might not want to do much. But if it's a nice, cool day, they're more likely to be active. I guess it's because our bodies react to the weather. Sunshine gives you energy, and being stuck inside on a rainy day can make you feel cooped up. So, yes, the weather definitely has a big impact on how we feel and what we do.
How has technology changed our understanding and prediction of weather patterns?
Technology has revolutionized our understanding and prediction of weather patterns in numerous ways. Previously, weather forecasting relied heavily on basic observations and rudimentary instruments. Now, we have access to sophisticated tools like weather satellites, which provide a comprehensive view of the Earth's atmosphere, tracking cloud formations, temperature changes, and other vital data. Radar technology allows us to monitor precipitation in real time, detecting the intensity and movement of storms. Furthermore, advancements in computing power have enabled the development of complex weather models that can process vast amounts of data and simulate atmospheric conditions with increasing accuracy. These models, combined with data from various sources, help meteorologists make more precise and longer-range forecasts. As a result, we have a much deeper understanding of weather phenomena, from local weather patterns to global climate trends, enabling us to better prepare for and mitigate the impacts of severe weather events.
What kinds of people care most about the weather?
Many different groups of people have a vested interest in the weather. Firstly, those whose livelihoods depend on it, such as farmers and fishermen, are particularly attentive to weather patterns. Farmers need to know about rainfall, temperature, and sunlight to plan planting and harvesting schedules, while fishermen rely on weather forecasts to ensure safe conditions at sea. Secondly, people who engage in outdoor activities, like hikers, sailors, or even those who simply enjoy walking in the park, tend to pay close attention to the weather to plan their activities and ensure their safety. Finally, certain professions, such as pilots, construction workers, and emergency responders, require accurate weather information to carry out their duties effectively. Therefore, while everyone is affected by the weather to some extent, these groups have a particularly strong need to stay informed about changing conditions.
Do you think that extreme weather events are becoming more frequent or severe? Why?
There's a growing body of scientific evidence suggesting that extreme weather events are indeed becoming more frequent and severe. This trend is largely attributed to climate change, which is causing significant shifts in global weather patterns. Rising global temperatures lead to increased evaporation, resulting in more moisture in the atmosphere. This, in turn, can lead to more intense rainfall events and flooding in some areas, while other regions experience prolonged droughts. Warmer ocean temperatures also fuel the intensity of tropical storms and hurricanes. We've seen a rise in the frequency of heat waves, with record-breaking temperatures being observed in many parts of the world. These changes not only impact human societies but also have profound effects on ecosystems and biodiversity. Therefore, it's crucial to address the underlying causes of climate change to mitigate the increasing risks associated with extreme weather.
Do you think that weather has an impact on the economy? Why?
Absolutely, weather has a significant impact on the economy in numerous ways. Firstly, certain sectors are directly reliant on predictable weather patterns. Agriculture, for example, is heavily influenced by rainfall, temperature, and sunlight. Droughts or extreme weather events can lead to crop failures, impacting food production and prices. Similarly, the tourism industry can be affected by weather conditions, with poor weather deterring tourists and impacting revenue for hotels, restaurants, and other related businesses. Secondly, extreme weather events can cause significant economic damage. Hurricanes, floods, and wildfires can destroy property, disrupt infrastructure, and lead to substantial economic losses. These events often require significant government spending on disaster relief and recovery efforts. Finally, weather can influence consumer behavior and spending patterns. For instance, cold weather may boost sales of winter clothing and heating fuel, while hot weather may increase demand for air conditioning and cold beverages. Therefore, weather plays a crucial role in various aspects of the economy, from agriculture and tourism to disaster relief and consumer spending.